The state of extremism in our state. An organization tracking hate groups says they are growing and multiplying, targeting government, schools, and people who aren't white. Denver Health moves to a last resort before cutting services, asking voters for a tax increase. Last day of school, everybody ride your bike. And by everybody, I mean 12 of our journalists who team up to bring you every angle of pure joy.
It's pretty much the roving party down the street before school on Wednesday mornings.
And we celebrate the 4th anniversary of your micro-giving that has changed Colorado for the better. Don't just watch, be part of something. This is next. Extremism has taken root in Colorado. No surprise to viewers of this program who have watched us track the rise of groups and political figures who openly stoke violence. A group that tracks white nationalist and hate groups counts at least 30 of them in Colorado right now, 30, up from 18 in 2021. The Southern Poverty Law Center tracks the anti-government group FEC United, big in Douglas County and the Springs. You've heard its founder here, conservative activist Joe Oltmann, calling for the hangings of his political opponents.
That is the definition of treason, and he should be hung by the neck until he's dead.
The Proud Boys, which the SPLC describes as a hate group. In 2019, they said that they landed their own radio show on KNUS radio in town, but the station backed out after we reported on it. Front Range Active Club, which SPLC says is a white nationalist group. Members took credit for a masked protest outside a Pride festival in Dougco. The Pray in Jesus' Name Project, that's led by former Republican State Representative Gordon Klingenschmidt in the Springs.
A pregnant woman in Colorado.
And now our Julissa Irizarry takes a closer look at another group that's being tracked, one that focuses on schools across Colorado.
So much can be said about Colorado. For years, it's been growing in more ways than one.
Yes, a notable rise.
Rachel Carroll Rivas is an interim director at the Southern Poverty Law Center, or SPLC. The group released its annual report this week, identifying 30 hate and anti-government groups in Colorado. The top type of group found here were anti-government groups.
Colorado saw a rise in the number of anti-student inclusion groups. And so Moms for Liberty had a number of chapters in Colorado.
Moms for Liberty is a national conservative parent group that has been part of the book ban movement in school districts. In a statement, the Moms for Liberty founder said in part, the SPLC is nothing more than a mouthpiece for the Biden administration's repulsion for freedom and parental rights.
I think fear is ruinous.
Marty Moore is the executive director of Rocky Mountain Equality, formerly out Boulder County. The SPLC report says anti-LGBTQ groups across the country are at an all-time high. It's one of the reasons Moore's LGBTQ organization expanded.
When I looked at the map today, the hate groups that they listed are scattered throughout the state, but it's amazing how it goes down I-25. And as we look at north, where we recently expanded into Larimer County in particular, there are several groups there.
Groups can be in any corner, in any street in this state. The SPLC hopes revealing them will uncover something else.
We hope that this report is a tool for communities and sort of check folks on what's going on and how they might get to a better place together.
Carol Rivas with the SPLC says she'd be surprised if more anti-government or hate groups pop up in Colorado in next year's report. She says in recent months they have seen more people pull away from these groups as they see the national rhetoric they're pushing.
I think that's interesting because, as we've talked about here, you also have more mainstream groups in Colorado that are adopting the rhetoric of hate groups, like the Colorado Republican Party saying this week, burn all pride flags, God hates flags. That's the kind of thing that you didn't used to hear in organized politics. But there's all kinds of these groups in Colorado.
Yeah, you know, they say that Colorado is a perfect snapshot of this country. That's exactly what the SPLC says. They said we have a little bit of everything here: anti-immigrant, conspiracy, neo-Nazi, and it really paints a picture of the world we're living in right now.
It's amazing how many powerful people in Colorado continue to parrot that stuff. We'll keep pointing it out. Julissa, thank you. No organization wants the public to know that they are in a doom spiral. Actually, I should qualify that. Denver Health does want the public to know it's in a doom spiral because Colorado's Safety Net Hospital says it cannot continue on its current financial path. The state and the feds don't seem interested or able to pony up more money, so now Denver Health is going to go to voters directly. The hospital is working with Denver City Council on a ballot initiative for November, asking voters to approve a 0.34% sales tax increase. That would bump Denver's sales tax over 9%, and it would bring in up to $70 million annually, capped. It would go a long way toward closing the hospital's funding shortfall. As a safety net hospital, Denver Health doesn't turn away patients even if they can't pay. Just last year, the hospital lost $136 million treating uninsured patients. About 10% of that, they figure, was care for migrants. Denver Health CEO Donna Lynn says the hospital treats a large number of patients who come in from outside Denver, and a sales tax increase is a way to make sure that people from all over the state are chipping in.
We have a federal law that requires us to take any patient in our emergency rooms, regardless of where they live. And one of the nice things about the sales tax is that people who live outside of Denver do come to Denver, whether it's to go to a Rockies game or a Broncos game or, other tourism. So we will be able to have that sales tax spread across more than just the residents of Denver.
A city council committee advanced that tax proposal today. Still needs full council support later this month before it gets on the ballot. Denver Health says if the tax measure fails and the hospital can't get more state or federal funding, they would consider cutting services. The only psychiatric hospital on the Western Slope is going to stay open for now. The owners of West Springs Hospital in Grand Junction have secured the funding to stay open after warning patients they might close soon. This spring, the network of hospitals and clinics in western Colorado, Mind Springs, said that they needed $6 million or they'd close their emergency psychiatric facility. The state declined to give them a bailout, noting they'd already received significant help. Now, hospital leaders say they have a deal with the insurance company Rocky Mountain Health Plans that will keep them up and running through the end of the year. Mind Springs had issues for a while. Top leadership there resigned back in 2022 when an investigation found the hospital had failed to properly account for state and federal tax dollars. So the city of Pueblo just banned syringe exchanges in the city, and they got a lawsuit in return. The nonprofits running those programs and the ACLU say this is a decision that's been set aside for the state. Those two sites in Pueblo offered clean needles and the disposal of used syringes, along with testing and treatment for STIs and referral to substance abuse programs and behavioral health resources. Pueblo City Council banned them last month, blamed them for the large amount of needles being found in parks. The ACLU's suit says the services that they were providing are protected by state law and they do not need approval of local authorities.
The state of Colorado passed a statute in 2020 that authorized these types of public health programs because they've been proven to reduce syringes in public and improve public health. But nonetheless, the city of Pueblo is seeking to prohibit the very programs that the state has authorized.
ACLU also says closing syringe access programs risks an HIV or hepatitis outbreak, and that's a public health issue that the court should consider. We'll keep track of that lawsuit as it goes through the system. Tonight, we celebrate 4 years of your charitable giving across Colorado through your Word of Thanks microgiving campaigns. Every Wednesday for 4 years, you have helped some nonprofit do more to help our neighbors and make Colorado a better place to live. Let's get back at it. In collaboration with the 9 Cares Colorado Shares Food Drive, your 4th anniversary Word of Thanks microgiving campaign supports Metro Caring. Metro Caring often says something that stops me in my tracks. That Coloradans don't go hungry because of a lack of food. Coloradans go hungry because they cannot afford to put food on the table. So Metro Caring is more than just a food bank. Yes, it has a fresh foods market where people in need can come in to get free, healthy food in Denver in their grocery-style market, no questions asked. But Metro Caring also fights hunger at its roots, working on affordable housing, wage issues, waste in our food system, the other things that can help put food on the table. When somebody walks into Metro Caring looking for food, they also meet community connectors who find out about their other needs and link them up with support for rent, mental health care, clothing, whatever they need. Scan the QR code on your screen or text the word thanks to 303-871-1491 to get that link to donate. 4 years in, you have proven week after week that $5 from a bunch of people adds up fast. So as always, I'll match the first 50 donations of $5 to get us started. And more than 2,600 of you are now giving monthly to the Word of Thanks Fund. And what that has meant is that we've started our recent weekly campaigns with almost $20,000 in donations every Wednesday. You can use the same QR code or text to get there.
Today is the last day of school and the last bike bus.
That's it. A much-loved tradition rolls on, keeping kids safe on the way to class. And Denver kicks the can down the sidewalk, considering postponing that citywide sidewalk repair program once more.
In the District 4 Republican debate in Colorado, we got to meet a lively cast of characters challenging Lauren Boebert.
My question to you is about what you did while sober. You did not disclose your drunk driving arrest to your Republican colleagues when they were considering you for leader and electing you.
Yeah.
What does that tell voters about your judgment?
Well, thank you, Kyle, for that.
Thank you, Kyle. Wait, did Kyle just win the debate? He's the moderator. Oh, this guy, his name's Kyle Clark. He shot out of a cannon.
Denver has a plan to finally fix broken sidewalks, which may mean pushing back the plan to pay for that work yet again. Denver's voters originally passed a proposal to charge homeowners based on how much sidewalk is in front of their home. So folks with corner lots were SOL. Then City Council jumped in and changed it to a flat fee, $150 for homeowners, $30 per rental unit. Denver was supposed to start charging those fees in January and then July, but it's not going to start next month. The city says it needs more time to figure out how it will do the billing and the management of the system, so it's being pushed off to next January. City Council still has to sign off, and then, and only then, comes the announcement everybody wants. Which neighborhoods get fixed first? Kathy Sabins along with a look at the forecast after a hot one.
That's right. First 90-plus degree day of the season, Kyle. 91 in Denver. So you know those sidewalks, the asphalt, it's going to be very hot again tomorrow as temperatures soar above average right into Friday. This is the first 90-degree or better day that we've seen for the season, but it won't be the last, obviously. And with above average temperatures in the high country, the snow is melting so quickly. Rivers, creeks, streams are running high and fast and need to be very careful if that's how you're choosing to cool off. Early summer heat lasts through Friday. 90s to end the week, but storms and cooler weather by next weekend. Our high at 91 above the average of 80, but almost 100 in southeastern Colorado today. 80s around Eagle, Aspen, and Vail, and a fair amount of wind coming in out of the west and northwest. So concerns for high fire danger, but in the short term, it's poor air quality that we're concerned with. Ozone action day for today and through about 4 o'clock tomorrow for high levels of ozone. And so we will be monitoring this. The air quality alert will continue overnight. It's a big dome of high pressure pushing the storm track to the north. The showers that we need here are well off to the east of us, Minneapolis down to Memphis. We may have one isolated little shower tomorrow night. I'm watching this between 5:30 and about 7 o'clock, Douglas, Jefferson, Elbert County, and then it's out of here and we're back to the heat. So I'm saying there's a chance. Tonight, it's warm and dry through the evening. Tomorrow, our high back at 90. Warmest day of the week will be Friday with scattered storms for the weekend and a cooling trend that'll see highs in the 70s by Monday.
I say bike, you say bus. Bike, bike, bike.
Give the children what they want. Last day of school, 100 students, and a dozen 9 News journalists rolling along to capture the magic. Takes courage for a kid to ride their bike to school and for their parents to be comfortable with it. But you know there is safety and fun in numbers. Which is why, in the mother of all team coverage stories, we dispatched a dozen of our photojournalists to ride along with 100 kids on the last day of school. Our Mark Salinger brings us aboard the bike bus.
Next year, Brown International Academy in Denver.
Good morning. Welcome, everybody.
Will look different.
Good morning. Happy last day.
It's the last day of school and the final day for Principal Jen Wolf.
Happy last day. Oh, thank you so much, sweetheart.
It's her last chance to greet her kids.
You too.
Moments like these arrive in different ways.
Everyone who comes to school here either walks, rides their bike, or drives.
You guys ready?
This is how Alan Cowgill gets his kids to school.
All right, Josh, you do me a favor here, buddy? You stay on the right side of me, man?
He knows the streets aren't always the safest place to bike.
We would love more facilities. We would love more safe infrastructure in our neighborhoods.
Thanks to Alan and a couple other parents from Brown.
Yeah, it is.
I've never been on the bus because I don't like buses.
This bus is powered by pedals.
Let's do this!
The bike bus brings dozens of kids and parents from Brown Elementary together.
Yes, I watch out for the cars.
To ride to school safely.
But I'm not highly trained for this.
It's a lot of fun. That's the main reason that kids keep coming back.
Really fun.
On these streets, there's power in numbers.
It's pretty much the roving party down the street before school on Wednesday mornings.
You can hear it coming. Alan usually has some music playing.
I'm coming! Oh my God!
Frankly, we've got too many cars on the road, making it unsafe around the schools, ironically.
Volunteers wait at every intersection to stop traffic.
Everyone say thank you to Mr. Gary.
Have fun.
The bike bus runs every other week. Today, the kids own the whole block.
I say bike, you say bus. Bike,
Bus!
bike.
Bus!
All right.
This is their chance to take back the streets.
Here they come. Good morning, you guys.
Next year will look different. A new year, a new grade.
Thank you again for everything. Thank you for being so supportive of all our stuff. We couldn't have done it without you, so thank you so much.
And school without Principal Wolf.
It's a really special place with a really amazing community. So, oh, sorry, I'm so emotional today.
I feel really lucky to be able to have so many great kids and parents and school staff supporting us.
But Alan knows at least next year, this bus will be back.
Can I get a meatball? Good job.
We want our kids to believe they can do good in the world, and this is a way to teach them that.
That is the most fun I've had at work in a long time. Yeah. It's fun, but also a chance to learn. They talked about the environmental impact of driving to school every day, how cities can make roads safer for kids to be able to ride to school, things that actually matter that you don't necessarily learn in the classroom. There are no bike lanes that go directly to the school right now, so the truly power in numbers to get everybody there safely and back. It's joyful. It's empowering, though, too, right? It's empowering for those kids to feel like they're safe on the road and that the city belongs to them. And you should have seen how many kids were just smiling ear to ear, who were just like, I love going to school because of that. The bike bus. That's my favorite. Bring it everywhere. And you have to wear the bike T-shirts. I love it. That's my favorite. All right, Mark Salinger, thank you. And thank you to our photojournalist, Mike Grady, who organized our team of 12 photojournalists. He's got your feedback next. This week is the 4th anniversary of your Word of Thanks micro-giving campaigns. Every Wednesday since the lockdown period of the pandemic, you have raised $12.6 million for Colorado's small to mid-sized nonprofits. Cannot thank you enough for that. This week, we're supporting Metro Caring, the food bank in Denver that also works to address the root issues of hunger, from affordable housing to living wage jobs to fighting food waste in our community. As they like to say, there's plenty of food to go around. People just can't afford it. To join me in supporting Metro Caring, scan that QR code on your screen or text the word thanks to 303-871-1491. You'll see the options to give just this week, or choose to give monthly and automatically support every nonprofit in Colorado that we feature. Shirley writes in to say many negative things came out of COVID, but one of the most positive is Word of Thanks. Each week we can help our fellow Coloradans, and you provide us a platform to do so. Congratulations on the 4th anniversary. Shirley, I'll repeat the same deal that we made back during COVID. As long as I'm still here and you're still willing to give, we will keep the goodness going. I'll see you next time.